Welcome to my exclusive podcast, Soul Crafting with Tanushree, Crafting Your Inner Awareness. Hi, I'm Tanushree Nair, your energy mastery and mindset specialist, and author of the book Bring Out That Red Lipstick and an Energy Worker. I'm also an ICF approved life coach. I am on a mission to enable and empower 100,000 women to discover their innate feminine energy balance through my Inner Shakti blueprint in 90 days. I'm thrilled to bring out this special guest series episode of this podcast season 2, the Conscious Feminine Energy Leadership series. As the old wise saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. This podcast is for all those people who, in the daily grind of life, have forgotten to take a pause and smell the proverbial roses. For those who need a hand to learn self mastery of their thoughts, emotions, and inner self. Let me share this inner journey with all my fellow listeners, and together we can go miles. So, today's guest series, we are inviting inspiring guests who have successfully converted their adversities to opportunities and transformed themselves inside out to share with us their journey. Today is the first episode of the season 2 of Soul Crafting with Tanushree, and I'm thrilled and excited to introduce to our first guest who is already here in the studio. So, without wasting much time, let's get chatting. Hello and a warm welcome, Jogesh Jain, to our show. I'm honored and thrilled to have my mentor and coach for the first guest interview of season 2 of Soul Crafting with Tanushree, where the theme is conscious feminine energy leadership. Hi, Jogesh.
Hello.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So,
It's all pleasure to be here.
it's my honor, and I'm so glad that you are my first guest for season 2.
Sure.
So, JJ, as he is fondly called by us, is the founder of JJ School of Employability and a leading employability coach, an institution which aims at bridging the gap between what education provides versus what corporate needs. He is also an author, speaker, and trainer and has led speaking and training on various educational topics, having a varied audience from students, parents, to corporates. Also, an NLP practitioner, he is a certified coach by ICF USA and CDC consultant. He delivers a variety of programs and masterclasses for working and mid career professionals and is on an important mission to make India employable. So, JJ, today we are going to talk about the importance of having a coach or mentor in our life in general, but also how this is of prime importance for women professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs out there. So let me
Wow.
start my first question to you is I want you to share your story on how you found yourself a mentor.
Sure. So, thank you so much, first of all, Tanushree. The way you have navigated yourself, I know you for almost 2 years now, is amazing. It's inspiring. And the work that you do is something that is very close to my heart. And I personally believe the work that you're doing is creating huge impact in the lives of people around you. So first of all, congratulations for taking this and leading this initiative with the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. It's had it not been for you, I think it was a turning point for me when I met you, and I think from there I found direction. I found a goal for me to achieve. And had you not been backing me up all this time, it is such a big support. But I'll not talk about what importance it has been for me right now. I'll wait. I want you to share your story first.
Sure, sure. So, see, I started my career after graduating from Mumbai University in 2007. I started working for TCS, and then I worked over a decade with TCS, JP Morgan, then again TCS, and finally in 2016 is when I kind of quit my job in October. But something happened throughout this almost a decade, where I ventured into a lot of businesses, I ventured into a lot of experiences, and what struck me was education. And I was kind of on weekend for extra earning teaching economics, and just that's where I started interacting with students who were just going to pass out and get introduced to industry. And more than economics, I feel I was kind of teaching them on how to be more confident in interviews, how to design their resume, how to work on LinkedIn, and all those basic stuff. What I realized is, and I did that for almost a year or a year and a half, and then I realized that there has to be a structure to it, and I started my quest on searching for solutions. And to my surprise, there was nothing which was formally available for uh, students. At that time, my focus was more on students who are just graduating themselves. So there was nothing which was formally available, and that made me curious as to why, even after a decade when I passed out, and now even after a decade there's a lot of gap, and why is it that nothing has been done formally at a scale required in one of the youngest country in the world. Our average age is 29. 65% of our country's population is below the age of 35. So we are still young country, and there's a lot that needs to be done for these students who are passing out. And I went on to formally educating myself on career, what is career all about, and what is employability. And then I went into studying a lot of people. And for the first time, I went to Ahmedabad for a 5-day program on career counseling. And that's where I think I learned the basics and foundation of career and got introduced formally to the industry of self development. As it's an ocean altogether. And why is it that I was not aware about these things earlier? And when I came back from that training to my office and I asked a lot of people, are you aware about this? They said, no, I was not aware about it. Are you aware about it? No, I was not aware about it. So I said that there's awareness which is lacking. So with that, I started, let me create awareness amongst people to educate them and to make them aware about there's something like these which exist. And in that quest, I joined a lot of WhatsApp group. I joined a lot of Facebook groups which were kind of free at that time. I joined in and I saw a lot of trainers, coaches, and experts being there. And for the first time, I got introduced to someone who was very senior in the industry, and we were kind of asked to send an application to reach out to that person if you want to get mentored and coached by him. So I took 4.5 hours to write that application and sent it across. And I think my application was accepted. And he was Dr. Atreya, who was aged at 93 then. And he's written more than 30 books. He's founder of management associations across India. Uh, and I kind of got an opportunity to meet him formally on 16th of July at 5:30 p.m. at his Bandra residence. And that's the day when he kind of encouraged me, gave me courage and guidance to publish my first book. So, and that's the day when I decided that, okay, I'm going to publish a book and I'm going to write a book. That's my first introduction with, the first mentor or coach which I had, Dr. Atreya.
Awesome. This, it is said that when the student is ready, the teacher comes in front of him. And I think maybe you were ready, had built that awareness around you that this is what I might need, I want, and I want to explore this further. And that is how your first mentor came along. So, how did you
Yes.
get into being a coach? What made you think that you could get into this field of? Did you have any prior experience or skill set that you had to become a coach?
So one thing which was there parallelly working, as I said, I was educating for a year and a half. So that worked very well for me because I was educating via different lectures. The skill of speaking from stage was always there, and listening is something which I've been gifted. I feel so. that I'm a very good listener, where I kind of a lot of time it so happens that people talk to me for hours and hours, and I'm still on the listening mode, very attentively listening to the person who's speaking. So that was always there, and I believe to be a good coach or a mentor, you got to be a very good listener. If you're not a good listener, you've not got that scope. So these two things set foundation for me to think in that direction, that there exists uh, a industry or a career to pursue. But the limitations were, okay, where should I invest, how should I bring that investment to invest into so much of self development, and everything felt that yes, this is also needed, that is also needed. My salary was limited, but I kind of budgeted it for almost entire year, went ahead and took loan as well to invest into myself, because I realized the importance of investing in self development. I think in the year 2016 itself. uh, Again, what I felt was, when I look at coaches and mentors, like for a session, uh, you they charge thousands of rupees just for one session. I remember paying 15 to 30,000 rupees for 3 sessions with one of the coach, and I was like, if this is so valuable, why is it so costly? And my self talk then was that if this knowledge, this wisdom is reaching out to a lot of people who are, especially in my cadre, who are into mid career or early career, their career can transform drastically. So that led me to kind of begin the journey, so that I can provide that same knowledge at an affordable pricing to people.
Awesome. So you did undergo some certifications, you did undergo some training to get into that field of being able to deliver the content that you had, the expertise, the domain expertise that you had.
Yeah.
So, so JJ, just do you still have a coach or a mentor even after being successful? I know you have been in the industry for some time now, and you are very confident in delivering your domain expertise, your skill set. But do you feel even at this stage or going forward, do you still feel you should have a coach or mentor?
Yeah, absolutely. See, it's a journey always, and I consider myself always a work in progress, because there's something always to improve upon. There's something always to kind of look up to in life or in career. You know, so I do have a lot of coaches and mentors around even today. I constantly learn from Brigadier Basin, who is also one of the reason I started JJ School of Employability. So I kind of connect with him, ask him, consult him. It's not a coachy relationship, but it's more on consulting and mentoring that we get into. I'm still learning from Blair Singer the art of facilitation, the art of uh, you know uh, art of delivering powerful presentations. So I keep learning, and I believe learning is something that should be lifelong. The mere fact that you feel that you don't know enough is the right space to be in, is what I believe. Because once I get into conversation that I've got everything, is the moment I kind of will have a declining curve in life and in career.
How true. I absolutely agree. I think once I moved from my engineering studies and we got into our jobs, I had that feeling, okay, this is it. I don't need to
This
study
is,
anymore. I'm done.
yeah,
I'm tired of studying at that point. But what kind of learning we have to do during our jobs, during our professional lives, during our personal lives is a totally different kind of learning, and we should not shut ourselves off out of that kind of a learning.
yeah,
Definitely there are a lot of people around us, there are a lot of challenging situations, lot of things that show us what we need to learn. And I think the only thing that we need to do is to keep our eyes, ears and hearts open to accept and receive that knowledge.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
I think, see, one of the thing which education has done is, when we graduate from bachelor's, it is told that you've studied all, or you've done your masters, you've studied all, and there's no need for one to kind of educate yourself. I think being educated and being employable are two different things. And you build a skill, you build an education only caters to specific areas, and it doesn't touch upon how to grow in career. It doesn't touch upon how to manage yourself, how to manage your relation, how to manage your finances. All of these things are not catered to, which are foundation for one's life and one's growth, which are not catered to, especially in the formal education, and hence the need for parallel education is there.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree, because there are so many people who come from rural areas to get into professional jobs. They don't have any idea, or they don't have a predecessor from their family who would have, maybe they are the first ones in the family to get into that space, and they don't
Yeah.
have any guidance or mentoring from anyone to say, how do you dress up to go for a job interview? How do you stand, and how do you present yourself? How do you position yourself for a job
Yeah.
interview? I think you are doing a fabulous job in this sector, in this domain. It's such a huge gap, and I'm so glad that you figured out that gap, and you made an entire curriculum based on that.
Yes.
What next question I want to ask, and this is very, this is pertaining to women. As you know, women do not have a smooth sailing careers for themselves. Usually, they have to, either move cities or countries because they got
Yeah.
married, or they are gone into a maternity break and they are coming back. Either they are gone into a sabbatical which they had to take because of family reasons, or any such thing. Uh, Today, I'm seeing more women are joining the workforce, but also I'm seeing a lot of women stepping out of the workforce too. And also, there are places where women are trying to come back after a long sabbatical. But the kind of acceptance that they are receiving in the corporates, I think the trend is changing, but it's not so encouraging, because I still hear a lot of women come up and say, I've come up after a sabbatical of 5 years because I had to take care of my child, but I have 15 years of experience before that, and that is not even considered.
Yeah.
It is, for women, it is as good as starting from zero.
Yeah.
But I've
Yeah.
seen a couple of men who have taken an informed sabbatical for themselves, and when they join back, they are hailed for their experience that they held before that. I also found that there is a gap that women in corporate jobs, or even if they're self-employed, having their own entrepreneurial journey going on, they often don't have that kind of a strong mentor or a coach for themselves. Or I think women shy away from asking for that kind of a coaching or a mentoring help from the seniors in professional life.
Yeah.
What do you think is a criteria they should list for themselves for finding the right fit for a coach or a mentor?
It's a real good question, and hence I love your work. That you kind of, the book that you've written, the work that you do, the sessions that you do is around the same area to kind of work on. So it's a very deep question. First of all, what I realized, and where I've also interacted with a lot of people who want to kind of bounce back, especially women, after a gap. Now, there are a lot of programs from corporate side that they talk about, and there are organizations as well who are working to support people who want to bounce back from career break. But at the root, there's no foundational awareness uh, that women have about such facility by organizations or corporates. So one is to create that awareness amongst them that there's something that exists like this. Number one. Number two is the work on the mindset that one operates from after having a break. Because when they have a break, they get into a guilt zone that, oh my God, I have a break and now I'll have to compromise a lot of things. No, you don't. And I'm telling you, women make better entrepreneurs. Uh, in my limited experience, I have also seen that uh, all the women who got into entrepreneurship have really done well. So if you're not able to bounce forward into career, full stream career, think about entrepreneurship as a backup option, which you are really good at naturally, is what I've seen. Third, on the coaching and mentoring framework, which is out of from the perspective of seeking help, I believe that again the awareness of something like coaching and mentoring exists is not there, and if it is, that there is a taboo about reaching out for help, and I might not be considered good enough if I reach out for help is also there. So little work up around there of there's no taboo, it's okay to reach out for support, and it's okay to have a coach or mentor who can play the role of navigator in your journey and fast track. It's like Google Map, right? When you open an app like Ola or Uber, it'll ask you two questions: what is your current location, and what is where exactly you want to go. So the role of a coach or a mentor is as good as asking you this question: where are you right now and where you aspire to go, and navigate you throughout the journey. That's the role that a navigator plays in our journey, and so as coach or mentor plays in your life's journey.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Yes, I believe that we should have a coach or a mentor if it is not readily available in the place of work that you are currently in. Seek them outside.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there are a lot of organizations today working on reskilling women back into careers that they want to find. But yes, open your mind and heart and look out for that right fit, even in a coach, and who is there for you, who's ready to be invested in your journey.
Right, right.
Any more thoughts around this, JJ, that you want to share?
See, one thing which possibly comes in my mind is, see, when you're picking up someone to kind of navigate you, there are a couple of things which I feel one should always take care of. And one of the thing which comes immediately in my mind is the connect with a person who is going to kind of coach or mentor you. That connect has to be there. You got to feel that inner voice has to be there, that you know what, I think yes, this is the go-to person that I want to connect with. Because if that is missing, then it becomes a lot of transactional approach, that okay, I am your coach and you are my coachee, here is the outcome that we want, and let's start working on it. It's more it's more of a transactional approach that I feel, and I believe my school of thought says that when you're entering into a relation of being coached or being mentored, it has to be more deeper, rather than just kind of being transactional.
True, true. And it's a very important point. The connection part is so important. There should be a relatability with the coach. There should be a connect. There should be a wavelength match where you know that when you're seeking. Sometimes I have all most of the times I've seen when I'm speaking with you, JJ, you almost read my thoughts even before I have voiced it. And that is the kind of connect that I think you should look out for. There are times when I have not called you up for a long time, and you have called me up, and that is the time when I'm actually in a state of confusion, or I'm into introspection, and I wouldn't have said this, or I wouldn't have even called you to say this, but you have
Right.
suddenly picked up a phone and called me and saying, "Hi, Tanushree, how are you? What's going on with you?" And I have been surprised so many times you have called at the right time for me.
Yeah, and it is with a lot of people who are working with me that has happened in the same way. I remember one of the good friend of mine, Amol. He was in a dilemma, and wanting to quit a program that we were into together, and he said, Jogesh, what happened, why did you call? And we went into 2 hours of conversation and changing his mindset and decision of quitting that program to, no, I'm not going to quit. So And that's where the connect part is coming in. Otherwise it's too transactional and it's like, okay, done, and now what next? So the connect is kind of the the soul of relationship that you have with a coach or a mentor. If that connect is missing, then possibly is not the right person for you at that point in time.
True. Absolutely. That's something to really think about, that if you are invested in your sense of purpose, if you are invested to take it ahead, get in touch with a coach or a mentor today. Do not delay your dreams, and do not delay the plans that you have for tomorrow. Because tomorrow, when you rise, maybe you would have already set up on your path. So do not delay in having that, getting and reaching out to that coach or mentor.
Yeah.
So, on a little lighter part of the discussion, JJ, uh, successful people have uh, successful rituals that they follow. So, what is your typical morning or a night ritual, or what is that ritual that you follow for yourself, which is like a
So
must do in your life?
yes, I was not a very pro on rituals, but since Jan of 2021, not only myself but the entire community, every single 3 days every in a week, we kind of come together, and for an hour we do a lot of things together. And I think that has set a very good foundation to how I begin my day and how I end my day. Because if I want to begin my day well, I got to end my day well, and I got to end it on time. So uh, that has happened very consistently for the last 8 weeks since Jan of 25th. And I'm really happy that we started with that something, and you are the one who supported that initiative and helping us with the inner journey of meditation there. So thank you so much for that. Uh, Second is on otherwise as well. I'm kind of consistent with goal writing, reflection, gratitude, journaling, and stuff. But one thing which I do inherently is I think a lot, and I think a lot about people with whom I'm working, who are associated with me. I think a lot. I think deeply about them. Uh, Second is I think about initiatives a lot. I think about different initiatives I want to drive a month down the line, 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line as well, and maybe some of them 6 months down the line. So I think about initiatives. I think about people with whom I'm working, and I think about where am I heading in my life, and with people who are associated with me. Am I moving them ahead with me, or I'm just moving alone? So these are a couple of things which I found that has stayed with me for a very long time, and I'm very happy to say that I I followed this particular ritual for from a very long time that has stayed with me. Uh, Apart from, of course, reading and journaling and gratitude that we constantly do.
What you said just now, I was, in the back of my mind, I just felt how each of us, since already I work in the space of feminine energy mastery, and whatever you spoke just brought out that part of that feminine energy of empathy, of nurturing, of being receptive, and also of giving. But how you beautifully brought this feminine energy of yours in the right place, with the right people at the right time. Whereas
Hmm.
when you really need to be on a coaching journey, there are times when you have to have a steady structure, you have to be organized, you have to be punctual, you have to prioritize. I have seen this both things happening very beautifully with you. And this is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I also wanted to invite you. This is one of the examples, like what I'm trying to do through my podcast show or through my YouTube channel is to bring out people around you who are already doing this balancing journey, knowingly or unknowingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
it
can.
beautifully ties down to your soul purpose and the work that you're doing in.
Yeah. 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 I can now understand, because I did not know it is how it looks like. I'll give you an example. One of my student who is having almost a decade and a half experience, he was in Rajasthan managing entire Rajasthan for one of the organization he was working. And because he's part of the program that I have, he kind of reached out to me in a one-to-one session, said, Yogesh, I'm sorry I've not been consistent in the learning sessions because of one of the reason. And he said, my brother and my mom, both of them were having medical emergency, and because I was in Rajasthan, I was not immediately available for them. And that kind of moved me, and I asked him, what is your number one priority in life? And he said, it's my family. It's my family, he said. And then I asked him, then why are you for 3.5 years in Rajasthan? And then that day, and fast forward 2 weeks, he's got two offers from Mumbai, from the organizations there. With one of them is giving them 40% hike. But uh, what's more important is realizing the priorities, aligning yourself with that, and having the right, you know, navigation. For him, he would have been there if maybe that question was not there in that conversation which I was having with him. He would
True.
have been cursing himself that, I'm not a good son, I'm not a good brother, I'm not a good husband, I'm not a good father, and whatnot. So, who is going to ask that right question to you? It's not that something new, it was not new, but the timeliness of asking that right question is very important. And
Right.
that happens only when you have someone around to ask you those right questions.
Agree. And that question is about whether you want to align your work with life, or are you aligning your life with your work? He was aligning his life with the work, whereas the priority was life.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's how you navigate between these energies of masculine, feminine. It is so unknowingly we bring this in our work.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful share. Thanks so much for sharing with us, JJ, about this. Any takeaway or tips that you want to share with our followers?
So one principle that I feel everyone should follow in career, life, anywhere, and there's a theme song as well that we've written on that. It's called as "Tu Chala Chal." Keep moving, keep moving wherever you are, whatever phase of your career and life is. Just keep moving, and if you just keep doing that, I'm telling you, you will sail through any tough situation that you go through. So don't stuck, don't get into one place, keep thinking into and get into that loop of overthinking. That is dangerous. If you are into a loop right now of overthinking and not having clarity, just take that one step which possibly you think is the right step. Just take that one step, keep moving is one thing which I wanted to share with your audience.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, listeners and viewers, you have to listen to this episode again and again and understand the depth of what JJ is trying to share with us. And I think it is high time for all you women out there, go find a coach, get a coach or a mentor who aligns with your purpose, who aligns with you, whom you connect heart to heart, and take his or her help to move ahead in your journey of life. Thank you so much, JJ, for taking out time from your busy schedule and joining for the show. We wish
Thank you
you
so
your
much.
coaching work spreads far and wide globally, and wish you higher successes.
Thank you so
Thank,
much. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah.
thank you so much. Dear listeners and viewers, the links to JJ's online business presence is shared in the description below. With this, we come to an end to today's Soul Crafting with Tanushree episode. You can head over to my website www.tanushreenair.com to subscribe to my newsletters or connect with me on my Facebook page Tanushree Nair, on Instagram as Soulful Living with Tanushree, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel Tanushree Nair by pressing the bell icon. Thank you for joining me on today's episode, and until we meet again, stay safe, stay inspired. You're all loved. Peace, love, and light. Your host Tanushree signing off.